artist in the city. We have beautiful Jazmine.
Hi.
Jazmine, can you introduce yourself and where are we?
Okay, so my name is Jazmine. I also go by Soul. I'm a fine artist and I live in Harlem. This is my studio.
It's so beautiful.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. No, I'm like super excited because I've been wanting to have you on my podcast for such a long time because you're such a beautiful soul. You're funny and super talented, obviously.
Thank you.
So thanks for coming out.
I mean, likewise to you. You're like a really multifaceted person between the collage, the comedy, the dancing. Oh my gosh. Y'all. Yeah.
Thank you.
Of course.
I started podcast because I wanted to like talk to people who I met throughout different genres of art that I'm trying. And then art is obviously one of my big things, and I'm so just excited to have you.
How long have you been doing art?
It's been about 2 years, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You started during the pandemic too, right?
Yeah. I mean, I did doodles like maybe before. Like I used to draw people under like an umbrella with a tree. But I'm telling you, it was like corner of the page on when you're not doing your homework type drawing.
Yeah.
Never like on a canvas, something that's like significant. So I don't know. I'm really excited for this journey because I feel like I've learned so much about myself.
When was your first canvas work then?
My first canvas work. So I have this friend named Ashley, and she was hanging out with her sister in the park.
Mm-hmm.
And I ran into them like on a work break, and they were sitting there. So I asked if I could join them, and I ended up drawing this like mermaid with a bunch of arms. Because I was a swim instructor at the time, so I would always like daydream about mermaids, and I still do. And it sat unfinished in my room for like a really long time, and then I guess when everything shut down, like that's when I finally had the chance to finish it. So I guess that's still 2020. It's still 2020. So then once I finished that painting, I still had paint left over.
Yeah.
And then just because I feel like maybe because I'm cheap, I didn't like want paint to go to waste, so I kept starting new canvases. Because I was like, oh, well, I can just put this here. Oh, that's interesting. And then the next thing I know, I'm like moving things around. But I was always making art. I would do wire wrapped like necklaces and just wire wrapped things in general. And then somebody ended up commissioning a painting from me in the pandemic, and I had asked him, I was like, how big do you want the painting to be? He's like, I just want a painting of a woman. Any woman. I was like,
a little creepy.
Okay.
It's kind of creepy, but
I guess I didn't pick up on that. I mean, I'm just so grateful to even have had the opportunity, but I could totally see why, like,
yeah, but like having a commission work is cool though.
So I ended up, since he didn't give me a size restriction, I'd always wanted to do something big. So I found a cork board while I was jogging and ended up using this like massive cork board to paint Yara Shahidi and like put a bunch of other like revolutionary women on the borders of the frame to kind of illustrate like all of the people who came together to make it possible for her to be the revolutionary that she is today. So I'm excited. He received it well. He was not I wonder if he was expecting tits and ass. Like maybe, because he did not tell me like any parameters, but he was so excited.
But you were painting revolutionary women, so I mean, of course they have tits, but we want to respect them.
She was in a full suit. Like she had a full suit with a tie and then like these awesome bantu knots across the top. And,
How big was it? Is it like this big?
You see this like. So I think it was about a 38 by 40.
Yeah.
I think it was about that big.
You have a lot of artworks here, though.
Yeah.
How many approximately you think you have?
Like all art that I think I have it maybe like 120 something.
Yeah.
If you include photography, printmaking, sculpture. Well, if you include the jewelry I make, probably closer to 200 something.
Or even more, honestly.
I mean,
yeah, it's you're very prolific, which I really respect.
What do you mean by that? I mean, I appreciate that. I receive that. But, like, what do you mean when you say prolific?
Because I've seen your works several times in different eras of your art journey, right?
Yeah, you've been there since the beginning.
Yeah, I saw your wall at Brooklyn Art Cave. That was the first time I met you.
Mm-hmm.
I was with my mom, and that's when you met my mom too. And you had a lot of like portraits at that time. You still do, and then I went to.
You're right. Yeah.
And then I went to Basquiat's Bottle for your solo show, and that was right after your trip to Kenya.
Ghana
Ghana
and Nigeria. Yeah.
Ghana and Nigeria. And you had, I think the pieces were illustrating your life there and what you've seen. And then now here, it's a collection of everything that you've done. And I'm just seeing the progresses in the most immersive way possible.
Yeah.
So I feel like I actually understanding how prolific you are.
I received that. Thank you so much. I received that.
Yeah.
I think my style has changed a lot. Just as I've like developed new techniques and been more experimental with my work. Mm-hmm. Like I even have some pieces that are made of just melted crayons. And I think working with kids has definitely opened me up and taught me more about the different avenues you can take with art. Because whenever you teach, you have to be experimental as well.
Yeah.
So,
how is teaching kids for you?
Oh my gosh, they're so cute. I love them. I work for. I don't want babies, but I like teaching and babysitting and then giving them back. Mm-hmm. And it's been really nice because kids are so honest, and they're also they just absorb things so well. So sometimes if I teach them something, I teach them like advanced concepts sometimes, like foreground, middle ground, and background.
Can you teach me that? Yeah. I want to learn.
Well, if we're looking at my boyfriend's mom's painting, Leslie Thompson, the foreground would be the rocks that you see here.
Okay.
And then the middle ground would be Captain Nimoy. I think that's his name. Wait. I don't know.
The guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Basically, he's like a version of Aquaman. Mm-hmm. Somebody in the comments will correct me. And then the background would be like the red, the blue, the stuff that you see that's hanging around.
All right.
So if I'm talking to them about a composition, I'm like, okay, so what's in your foreground, what's in your middle ground, what's in your background?
So that would be like the depth of the painting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Something that I'm working on. A lot of times I'm teaching them things that I'm working on, and then we'll work it out together.
That would be like a good learning process for you too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So a lot of the work I do, like at school or in these private settings where I'm teaching, I don't keep them. Yeah, or I'll just leave them there. So I wonder, like, if they have a journey of their own or if they're just like in the trash and gone.
I don't know, because you're also self-taught. Right?
Well, I started off self-taught. And then I got into FIT, and now they're teaching me things. So I can't claim it anymore. But I did start off self-taught. Yeah.
How is it different between being self-taught artist to learning from school? How was the transition like for you?
That's a really good question. I would say that when you're self-taught, it's a lot easy to be, when I am self-taught, other people have their own experience. But me as a self-taught artist, I feel like it was really easy for me to jump from painting to painting. Whereas in school, it's more structured. It's like, okay, we started this, we're going to finish this. And then we're going to go on to the next concept. And then when you're self-taught, I feel like oftentimes, when I am self-taught, oftentimes I work in one avenue. So it might just be painting or collage. Well, that's two. But in school, it's like painting, collage, photography, printmaking, all of these different disciplines, and I have to work on understanding them at the same time. Even drawing is just like a completely separate thing where we're spending hours and hours on just the drawing. Yeah. And it's changing like week by week, day by day. Whereas if I was drawing on my own, maybe I drew people on the train or like draw something for like 2-3 days and then move on to painting.
I feel like I'll be honest with you, I barely paint, which is sad.
I've seen you paint.
I still do, but like I don't have the discipline at this point. I mean, I think I'm more disciplined in comedy, I think, because there are open mics to go and I want to do this and this and this and I get shows. Yeah. But like when it comes to painting, it's just like it's sitting there, I'll get back to it, but I don't have the discipline that you just described in school.
Mm.
So, I don't know. It's just the process.
Maybe it's just
me.
like, this is going to sound so toxic, but choosing not to sleep. Like if you started a painting at like 8 o'clock at night, staying awake until like 5 in the morning, getting it done, and then being like, at least I fucking finished it. And then be miserable the next day or sleep like sporadically on your therapist like I did. Oh my God, I fell asleep on my therapist.
I will definitely follow the toxic route. I will finish one painting tonight. That's gonna be the goal.
We can finish one together.
I would love a collab.
Okay, I have some
love
stuff.
that.
I have a lot of things that I'm stuck and I don't know what to do with. Like I have this one piece that's under the couch, face down.
Currently?
It's so bad. Not bad, but like, if I don't do something with it, I'm throwing it away.
Could we see it?
Yeah, if you could fix it, you can sand it down. You can drag it. Thank you. So
Wow.
this piece is like something I started when I was trying to be more experimental with collage. And yeah, I'm kind of stuck on like what else to do. Because like I want to leave like this alone, this middle part.
Yeah.
But also maybe if I add like, because to me, what I wanted it to look like is like they're having a conversation.
I love that.
So this piece in the middle is actually sand spray paint, which I didn't know was a thing, but it creates texture. All of this is mixed with baking soda. The layering
so baking soda makes the texture.
Yeah, girl. Or you could use molding paste, but I typically use baking soda in my paint.
I see.
Which also helps you clean your palette faster.
I didn't know that.
So baking soda and Simple Green. Oh, it's right here. Sponsor me, Simple Green. Please. Baking soda mixed with this will clean your palette like right off.
Yes. What is the best thing about Simple Green? Sponsor us right now.
It smells so good. It's concentrated. You can clean your whole house with it. I do. Sponsor us.
Thanks.
I've
I've seen people using sand instead, though. For the
Yeah, I have a bottle of sand.
Of course you do.
So this bottle of sand is actually from St. Lucia.
Wow.
And I've been like sporadically like mixing it into my paint, but I think I prefer sand as a spray because you can really just like play with it a little bit faster.
Did you use the same pattern for these two?
Yeah.
So that they speak to each other and it's a spray painting?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was working on just using spray paint in general.
Yeah.
So this was one of my pieces where I had started working on it, and then I was like, there's no way I'm staying up to 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Like,
I have ideas for this.
you can take it.
Fuck yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, take and finish it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will. I really will.
Amazing.
Okay, perfect. Like, do I have permission for whatever?
Yeah, just leave these two alone.
Okay.
And then, what? Actually, yeah, just leave those two alone.
Okay.
Go crazy. I don't care.
Yes.
But that's when I was working with spray paint as a medium, and I was working on multiple pieces at the same time.
Wow.
So there's also this one, just behind the. So this is actually based on the same character. This is the Queen Mother of Benin.
Nice. I'll show you the same character.
It's the same character.
Yeah.
And I repeated it a few times as a study.
I think she's repeated many times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least 4. So there's these two, and then that one on the wall, and then one that I've never posted that's in the closet.
Can you explain more about this piece?
Oh, yeah. So I'm going to explain about the process first, I guess.
Yes.
So I had the beginnings of carpal tunnel when I was in physical therapy, and I couldn't paint without it hurting really, really bad. So that's when I switched into spray paint, because it was like I was learning to use my right hand and learning to use other like materials. So I used palette knife to get the striations, and the spray paint was just so I could cover more ground faster. And what else can I tell you about this?
Why is this part cut?
Because she was a warrior, and she would go into battle, and she was like the first female queen that I know of. And oh my gosh, not me having a brain fart about where she is from right now.
It's alright.
Oh, Benin! She's from Benin! She was from Benin in
Benin.
Africa, yeah. So, I don't know. I thought she was really interesting because she was also like a healer. And she helped to like raise her son to be able to like take over different areas, but also like through medicine.
I feel like I remember discussing the first big painting that you did about revolutionary women, and then this is also another revolutionary woman.
That's true. Yeah.
It's like, do you get inspired by a lot of like warrior women?
I do. Warrior women are just like pioneers that are not talked about enough. Yeah. Like Augusta Savage, have you heard of her?
No.
Super cool woman during the Harlem Renaissance. And I believe she moved here from Florida and started a whole studio practice. She was a sculptor.
Yeah.
And I always think about her because she worked on one of her sculptures that helped influence the song Lift Every Voice and Sing for a very long time. It was like multiple, maybe like 18 feet tall or some craziness like that. Feel free to fact check me on that. But yeah, it ended up getting destroyed because she had nowhere to store it. And I painted her partially because I think about all of the artists who have had to destroy like really amazing work because they had nowhere to put it.
That's so sad.
And
so sad.
it's a lot of us out here.
Yeah.
It's a lot of us. Or you put it in the trash, your name's not on it, and then it ends up in like a coffee shop or whatever. But at least it lives on. But she, I don't know. I just found that to be, she stopped painting and sculpting for almost a decade after that and then got back into it.
Yeah.
So that made me think about a little bit Connell's mom because she doesn't really paint anymore.
Yeah.
And I always encourage people who have taken a break from art to get back into it because you never really lose that side of yourself.
I think that's why I'm like leaning into comedy these days because I will never be not an artist at this point. But let me just lean into this.
Yeah.
So, but I'm just I'm so happy to have you and Zara and Samir, like all these like artistic friends.
Yeah.
So that I don't forget about that part
Who
of
you
myself.
are.
Yes.
Yeah.
But do you imagine yourself not painting at all?
No. I can imagine myself taking a break to like focus on my health, but not painting at all. Maybe if I get into sculpture. Because when I took my sculpting class, I was a nut, yo. Because he was hard on me, but it was good. It was very honest. It was like a very honest German dude.
Let's see your sculpture.
Oh God. Let me put this here.
Okay. Should I move the camera instead?
Sure. So this is the last one that I worked on. This model sat for us for weeks. Like,
oh, she was like that the whole time?
Yeah,
that's uncomfortable.
She literally rotated her body and stayed like that for weeks. So we became friends during that time because I'm one of those artists that like dances while they're sculpting, and she's a professional dancer.
I want to see it. I want to see you doing it.
Yes, definitely. So she's a professional dancer, and she was like, "What are you listening to?" And I sent it to her, and now she likes Amapiano, and she like shows her students that for the dance classes.
Yeah.
So even though we were supposed to destroy these, I kept it. I think one of my specialties is definitely like hair. I used a blowtorch to make it like this, so it's actually harder than the rest of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm still working on this one. I'm still working on both sculptures.
And would the second one be that one?
Yeah.
Let's go see it.
Okay.
We're exposing your entire house. I hope that's okay.
I'm just kidding. Appreciate it. So this guy also sat. This was like the first sculpture we did. We worked on the head, which I'm glad we did because
the hair is so elaborate.
I had so much fun doing this, but it also stressed me out.
Yeah.
Me and Connell, well, first of all, it took me, I think, maybe 2 or 3 different times to figure out what kind of hair I was going to do. At first, I was going to do big spirals, and then I was just going to do locks that hung down because I was feeling burnt out. And then I moved on to this process of doing a twist out, which is what I do on my actual hair. So it was a matter of like making the individual strands and then putting them together.
Did you feel like you're doing your own hair when you're doing this?
Yeah.
Oh.
And my boyfriend actually helped me like roll it together. We're up at, like I mentioned, like 4 or 5 a.m. watching. Oh my God, what were we watching? Was it Couple to Throuple?
I think so. Like, what's gonna happen?
No, it was the MILF show.
Yes, MILF Manor.
MILF Manor. Hilarious.
MILF Manor show.
You gotta watch it. They gotta work on the music in the show, but other than that, it's pretty good.
Who is this person though?
I cannot remember his name. I'm so sorry if you're watching this. I cannot remember his name. We'll put it in the...
He's very
the titles.
modelly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And our sculpture professor was saying that, like, every time someone makes a sculpture, oftentimes, they end up making it look like themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that definitely happened to me because, you know, most people didn't take theirs home. So, I didn't have him, like, actively there. So I ended up using my own face as reference to understand, like, the space between the eyes. I had the bridge way out here. I cut off the nose entirely, like, 3 times.
Mm-hmm. I can see the resemblance between your painting and the sculpture and you. That is adorable. I highly encourage listeners to watch the video episode of this because it's gonna be very visual episode. Could we take it to your corridor?
My corridor? Yeah, sure.
Or any kind of art that you want to show?
Yeah, I'm down. Well, there's this one.
Of course.
This one I did in school. I feel like I have this common pattern in school when they force us to do self-portraits.
Mm-hmm.
And I get a little bit bratty, like my inner child's like, no, I'm not doing it. And so I had started this and restarted it like maybe 3-4 times.
Yeah.
And on the last time, I just like got the general sketch out with oil paint and then worked on the background, listening to Amapiano music.
I can see the musical, like, rhythms.
I try to include a lot of music in my work, or if not, audiobook references.
What do you mean by that?
It's like if I'm listening to an audiobook and it says something that's like really profound, I might flip the canvas over and write something on the back, or write it on the border, or even like write it really small somewhere. So.
I actually did notice this. Well, it's a free-flowing podcast. I remember seeing this too. When it comes to art,
have a little more faith.
Oh!
I don't remember where that's from. I wish I put the name, but
no, now it's your coat.
Yeah. Going to steal this.
I should remember this. This is like even kind of tattoo worthy.
Yeah, actually, that would be a nice.
That would be a really
right
nice
there.
Tattoo. Yeah.
Ooh.
That's a nice tattoo.
I support it.
Cool.
I support it.
Yeah. Or should we go to this side?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is kind of dark. You can't. I don't know if you can really see it, but this was one of my earlier, maybe like the first year of me painting when I had done like the 70.
I don't think I've seen this one.
That's because I'm learning to be more proud of my older work. So I don't always post them. I'm very critical of my work. So like I definitely still want to add the wine in, but I like that it's ambiguous because we don't know how much wine she's drinking. And it's like none of our business, but like maybe. And then the idea that she's having that's gonna maybe bring her like more money. That's why it's up there. And I tried to make everything kind of line up on this diagonal situation.
I like where her heads are at. More money and wine.
Yes.
Wine. Yes.
And Make Manifest is actually the brand name of my aunt's wellness center in Brooklyn.
Oh.
Life Wellness Center, BK.
What is this? Another ad moment.
Another ad.
Talking about self-criticism. These are one of your earlier works, right?
This is definitely, I would
works.
say, let's see, the earliest ones is this one, definitely this one. I kept working on it though, so I don't know if it still counts as early. But one of my early school pieces, and then these two, the earlier ones.
But what kind of thoughts come across your mind when you see the earlier works, when you say self-criticism?
Cringe. No. I think I get excited about how far I've come, and I wonder if in the long run, no, not wonder, I know that in the long run, I will go a lot further. And I get excited looking at my artist friends, like Natterson, Jomani, Barrington, especially Barrington right now. Barrington Brissett, y'all should follow him. seeing his work, especially as a teacher and where he started and where he is now as a completely self-taught artist is very, very exciting. I would take one of his classes. I would. And, okay, well, we're here now, so.
Oh, we're going to the private part.
Private party. Make sure the drawer is good. Anyways, so, yeah, this piece I actually worked on recently. It was at Basquiat's Bottle.
Yeah.
And it was looking good. I swear it was. And then, not that it looks bad per se. I'm just being like...
You added more to it, right?
Yeah. I kind of blended out the face a bit and added more shadows in the arms and blended out the leg a bit. And then we had a hole in our ceiling. And I did this in oil paint. We had a hole in our ceiling. And when they came to fix the hole, all of the dust went all over the room. So the dust stuck to the oil paint. And now it's got like that highlight situation that I plan to fix this week. Or leave it. I don't know. I haven't like figured it out. I think she's looking a little ashy.
So
she's a little cocoa butter.
A lot of works are still in progress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say out of all of my studio work, maybe about 60% is done. Yeah.
And I'm also learning to enjoy. Oh my God, what is this?
This is a tapestry that I had gotten when I was living in Jersey.
This is a really cool tapestry.
It made me so happy.
Yeah,
because the light would come through and it would make the whole room red. So
I like that.
It's
a sexy,
sexy
vibe in this room.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, let's go back to our cozy chair. Like how similar concepts are repeating throughout the works.
Yes.
And do you kind of notice any of that in your art?
I think I use a lot of yellow. I think most everything has yellow. I think texture is definitely a similar theme. Travel, music. I mean, this abstract piece. My abstract pieces are normally completely about either music or anxiety. Oh my God. So
that's everyone.
Right?
That is everyone.
So do you know John Coltrane?
No.
He's a famous saxophone player.
Okay.
And he had a wife, Alice Coltrane. Nobody talks about her. Not nobody, but like most people don't talk about her.
What do you know about her?
She was a harpist. Dang, I'm on the spot. I'm getting nervous now. But basically, she was a harp player, and she was very, 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 very talented. So I used this abstract piece because I had heard her work for the first time to like as a reaction paper in a way of how the music was making me feel.
Saxophone, actually.
Wait, where?
I don't know. Maybe it's the yellow?
Yeah, maybe. Random things started coming out. There's an elephant in there. There's people getting sucked into a vortex. There's all types of things.
That's the beauty of abstract work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
Do you see the elephant?
I don't. Where's the elephant?
It's like right there.
Still don't see it.
I'm gonna climb up. Okay. So this is like the head, and then the eye, and then the trunk.
Oh, I see it now.
And then he's getting sucked into the vortex.
I definitely see it now.
Where there's another person. Everybody's kind of getting sucked into the middle.
Yeah.
But what I like about this piece, for like if it's in a person's home, is that you can mix and match it like however you want. Or even like
because it says two separate pieces together.
Exactly. Yeah. That was my intention. So like let's say you were decorating, you could put it on either side of your couch.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I also saw a similar piece, and then that one, the one that's on the right was tilted, and it was two hands meeting.
Ooh, that's cute.
It was very deep.
I need to see it. What was it about? To you, at least.
Relationship, man. Yeah, I was one of the hands.
Oh,
like I didn't paint that. Renee, I met him at 17 Frost Gallery. Do you know about the gallery? So he does a lot of handworks, and then I was one of his hands, and the other hand that was facing mine was someone that I care about.
That sounds like a beautiful story.
It was a beautiful story.
And also sounds like a juicy story.
We're going to talk about that I'm running away. Well, let's get back to our cozy spot.
Yes, I would love that.
But juicy story, yes. I mean, it's love. Don't you get inspired by all these, relationship stuff?
Of course.
Are you bringing one out to show us the relationship stuff?
This is not a relationship painting. Actually, it is.
It is?
There was this girl I was dating. I hope this video doesn't like make things more dramatic, but there was a girl I was dating, and she basically had like a mental episode.
All right.
And yeah, so my journey in escaping from that, and then like finding peace again, and like healing and finding love, kind of happened here on this canvas.
Yeah, I see a lot of music actually.
Definitely music was
Definitely
used.
a lot of music.
I was working with an artist named Angela Denise, and she's really into paint pour. So she gave me a bunch of paint pour bottles. I love artists that just give you supplies. So grateful for y'all. She gave me a bunch of paint pour bottles so I could experiment. And while I was working on a different piece, literally like here on this floor, literally right here on this floor, I was working on a completely different painting, and I left the bottle here on the canvas, not thinking, and it left a ring on the canvas.
Oh, so it's a very like solid circle.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
was like, what can I do with this circle? Because I was like, oh my gosh, I've ruined the canvas. But being able to dive into abstract has like taught me so much about improvising. And it even says like journey, artist journey, and like melting and like random faces that I drew in at the bottom.
Do you like abstract work more or conceptual work more?
That's such a good question. I think it depends on the day. It's like asking me, do I like rock music more or R&B?
That's a great analogy.
It's just completely different genres,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah.
But do you see connections between those two? I definitely see yellows.
Connections between rock, abstract, and
Your conceptual work?
work. Yeah, I normally have something abstract going on in the background of my conceptual work. Like if we were looking, can we move?
Yeah.
Is that okay? If we were looking over here, this is essentially the same pattern.
I see.
And I didn't realize that until you asked me right now. But
well, some podcasts reveal something.
right.
Some conversations reveal something. That's
Absolutely.
good. Yeah.
So thank you for pointing that out. Even I think the color palette, there's certain things that are very similar.
Were you working on these at the same time?
Not at all. This is like a year apart.
Well, that's even more crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you were telling me about this amazing mural that you have a crazy story about it.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So, I thought I was gonna fall.
Can I
Sorry.
help you?
No. Yeah. I'll take it. I will.
She got it.
I will take it.
For those who's only listening, you shouldn't be only listening to this episode, honestly. Just watch this shit. Okay, the mural.
Yeah. So my boyfriend is a jazz musician. Actually, he does a bunch of different genres, but he had a paint and sip / jam session here in like the first year that we were together.
Yeah.
And basically we just bought a bunch of cans of paint. We were like, yo, paint whatever you want on the wall. And so it was like a bunch of people painting literally whatever they wanted, and a jam happening right here. There's been some pretty badass concerts in here, to be honest.
That's like do you know about this like So Far concert?
No.
Like it's a concert that you buy the tickets to the concert without knowing who's gonna be in the concert.
That's exciting.
And then that's like $15 or something, and it happens at the most like weirdest venue.
Okay, we need to go.
We have to go.
Can you guys give us free tickets to this?
honestly? Ed, sponsor me.
Because she's plugging right now, you know?
No, like this could easily be that concert. Like people be jamming right here, and then you're painting while listening to them, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, how many artists were in the room? It had to be like,
We're talking about the mural, and then Jazmine was talking about you guys were jamming while she's making this art.
Oh.
I
well, we
think
were
there
all
had to be
together.
like 30 to
Yeah.
40 artists from different like avenues between music and painting.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that sounds like a great night.
It was
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd invited a certain number of like artists that we knew were artists, but also it was open to anybody that
Mhm.
wanted to just get on the wall and express themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, and same with music. You get on the instrument.
And there's some people who like kind of dabble in both, like that cross over. For
Mhm.
example, Liam Cashin, is that his last
Yeah.
name? He's a sick bass player, upright bass, and regular. What do you call it? Standard bass?
Electric bass.
Electric bass. So he plays upright and electric bass, but he also painted this like wormhole thing
Oh.
on the background. Connell added stars
That's so nice.
to it. Alin Sosa was here. She added the flower plant, and there's also some really cool aliens back there that you can't see right now, but we can insert a picture of that possibly.
It was a whole gigantic mixture of music and art.
Yeah.
Musicians would jump into the art and do
Yeah.
started painting.
Yeah, Simone Keys actually, Simone Acosta, she has her name on our wall still. We left it there. I always think about her when I see it.
Do you play music?
Not well. I mean, I sing.
I can see you as a
She
beautiful
inspires
singer.
all the time.
I bet.
Yeah.
I'm behind the scenes like, try this song. Have you tried that song? Okay, that tone is, okay, that sounds great. So like, I kind of do that kind of thing.
Yeah, you're the producer.
Nah.
You're the active listener. Active listener.
Yeah, I'm very active.
Yes.
I'm learning to play the bass. I'm learning to play saxophone. I've been learning to play saxophone since the pandemic. But because I started painting at the same time, like saxophone has slowly just...
Yeah, painting has always been the priority for you.
Yeah, first saxophone was a priority. Like, to be honest, I think I was practicing sax before I was painting. It happened at the same time.
I never know how to pronounce sax. Saxophone.
I think you're nailing it.
Am I doing it?
It's hitting the A kind of hard. Sax.
Like, cause you would, shorten it as sex. Like, but
Yeah,
like,
there you go. Say that. Say sex.
sex.
A phone.
Saxophone.
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 There you go.
Yeah?
Yes.
So what's the difference between like intercourse sex?
I mean, it's very similar. Like, if somebody who plays the saxophone for you, it's like your brain's being fucked a little bit.
Okay, so I'll just try not to
That's why I'm
think
here.
too much about it.
Why would you not?
Many
I mean,
reasons,
that's cool.
but yeah.
Okay. Well, if that giant crossover night happens again, please invite us.
Yeah, it probably will sometime this summer. Although I doubt that we will be painting the wall. Because here's the thing about painting the wall.
Mhm.
While everybody's drinking and having a good time in the dark,
Okay.
most people can't see what they're doing. Like, we could see, but like sometimes you can't see that well.
Mhm.
So there was a lot of things that we had to do to like make it a cohesive wall.
Yeah.
And I have to credit, her name is Rain Electra now, and super talented singer, artist. You've met Rain
Have I?
at the Blockchain Center. Probably.
I'm sure that
Yeah.
just give me more description.
Okay, she has like a blonde-ish kind of afro.
Mhm.
At least it was. Slim, very beautiful. I'll show you a picture.
Oh, she came with you.
Yee, that's Phoenix. Anyhow.
Okay. Anyways, moving on.
And then Alin Sosa helped do the wall as well. She had the idea to make it a space theme because space is just like contains everything.
Yeah.
Lucy?
Lucy.
Oh my gosh, Lucy!
Yeah, she kinda-
Hi, Lucy.
Most
Yeah,
important.
yeah.
I'm sorry, that was loud. My bad. Yeah, so Lucy, she kind of repeats a few times in the house. Connell commissioned a painting from her, which is over there. We'll plug that in later, possibly. Or
This one?
yeah.
Yeah.
So Connell, why'd you commission this?
That piece?
Yeah.
I had. Should I clip it or should I do that? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So, it was the summer of 2020, and there's a group that I work with called Africa Everything, and we raise money and do projects in Ghana, and I was bidding up and ended up getting a piece from Lucy, and she said, "Oh, you could commission a piece if you want."
Nice.
I was thinking, I didn't know exactly what I wanted. My roommate or ex-roommate, best friend, came up with an idea. He was like, "Well, why don't you have a BLM poster that's like got cops on one side and musicians and then protesters and everything." So we gave her just those kind of keywords and the theme, and she came back with this. So Black Lives Matter. She put the rainbow in. Was a unique touch that we had mentioned that was beautiful. And there's the saxophone hanging off of as an earring.
earring.
Yeah. So that was really, a really beautiful piece that she made.
And then we made it also queer.
And then, huh?
And it's also queer.
And it's also queer, yeah. So, we were really focusing on the Black Lives Matters part of it when we were explaining it to her. But, yeah. But Aurelio is very gay. I'm pan. And so when it came back with the rainbow, it was like, oh, wow. All right, they picked up on that as well.
Aurelio's
So-
his best friend.
Yeah, Aurelio's my best friend. My
Shout,
other
shout
life
out
partner.
to
Aurelio
Shout out
Rap.
to Aurelio Rap. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So.
Very thoughtful human being.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I can see a lot of elements after explaining. I mean, it's a beautiful piece, but like after your explanation, I can totally see all these elements.
So Lucy was also at the party and she has a woman over there, a little alien woman. That's kind of one of her big themes is this alien creature peeking out behind there.
Like,
so, yeah, she was
right
one of the
here.
other artists that was on the wall.
Right
Yeah.
here. Oh, okay. Again, invite me to that crazy night. But we are almost reaching the end of the pod.
Ah.
All right, can everyone see this?
Yeah.
Yeah. But any last words, Jasmine, to be on this podcast?
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing so many of your art with us.
Thank you so much for your time. And I'm looking forward to seeing your podcast. I know that you're going to do great things. And yeah, I think you're really just living in your purpose, man. So
I'm crying.
Did any particular piece strike you, or did you connect with any of them?
oh, that's a good
That's
question.
a great question. Honestly, the mural. I wish I
Yeah.
can see the
I'm sorry.
everything.
I will uncover it next
But
time.
already, like, even only seeing the snippets of it, it speaks a lot. And then knowing the background of it makes it even more special.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else who was on the mural that we didn't mention?
Did you see your?
Not me.
Did you see
That I
your
know.
contributions
Okay.
to the wall? Did you?
I guess I
zoom in
didn't
on
show
her,
my part.
On the brain.
Oh,
This
it's
part,
it's
that
so
is-
big.
Yeah, it's really long. So it's a brain coming out of a person with like a water head, and then there's like jellyfish coming out.
Yeah.
This actually glows in the dark.
As it should. As it should. Also, this is one of my favorite pieces of yours
Yes.
out of the things I've seen on the internet.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's from Nigeria for sure.
Mm.
She has the largest art gallery in West Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to ask you the whole time, how's like Harlem region affect your art?
How does living in Harlem affect my art?
Yeah.
It makes me want to get into landscape so much.
Mhm.
It also is like can be. I feel like Harlem has really embraced me in so many different ways.
Yeah.
With regards to keeping me safe, with regards to promoting my work. There's actually an artist who lives down the block named Mr. Atu, and he's been inviting me to the studio. Heath Gallery was, I believe, the first gallery I've ever been in. And
Ever?
Ever. Yeah.
Like when you're
Like
young?
official gallery.
Mhm.
That was last summer.
Mhm.
For A for Hang Night, B for Jomani Danielle's Let Black Folks Feel.
Mhm.
And I believe there was another show curated after that, which I'm sorry, I can't remember the name of it right now. But just having that platform has allowed me to meet so many people and actually sell some paintings.
Yeah.
And then the last thing is like the people who stand outside my street,
Mhm.
have literally picked me off the floor. So like, I was skating home and I was having a day from hell and I didn't want to paint or make anything. And then I bust my ass on my longboard right in front, laid out in front of my building. And I just was like laying on my back, like, I give up. Like, I'm tired. I'm not doing anything. And they picked me up off the floor. They were like, you're good, Ma. Like, it's fine. First, they were like, oh, shit.
You were just on the floor.
Dog.
Yeah.
It was rough. But literally, like, picking me up and helping me keep going in multiple different ways.
Harlan loves you as who you are and also as an artist.
Thank
Yay.
you.
Okay, Jazmine, thanks for coming out to the pod. And I think we'll catch you next week.
Bye.
Bye.